Dr. Sunny Fridge, host of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. I help shy speakers, entrepreneurs, and rising leaders overcome fear to speak with confidence and ease. I took a little time off for caregiving, but I'm excited to join returning and new broadcasters of WYTV7 TV. If you enjoy our programs, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a donation of any amount at WYTV7.org to help our CBN broadcasters continue their mission to bring you programming that educates, empowers, and encourages. On this edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny, I'm shining the spotlight on me. I'm excited to share an interview by Women Speakers Association CEO Gail Watson. She interviewed me about my latest book collaboration with some amazing women co-authors. The book's title is Voices of the 21st Century, Resilient Women Who Rise and Make a Difference. Here's the interview.
Thank you for joining the Author Spotlight Show. My name is Gail Watson, President and CEO of Women Speakers Association. As part of running a global community in over 120 countries, it is my privilege that I get to connect and have conversations with women from around the world doing amazing work. It's an important time for women to really step up and to find their voice, to own their voice. And it's even much better when she puts those words down on paper into a book so that we can share her message with the world easily. On today's show, I would like to introduce you to two-time international best-selling author, Dr. Sunny Fridge. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Gail.
I love that you're here, and I'm loving that what we're going to be talking about today, because I mean, you really lead with who do you think you are? Has anyone ever said, who do you think you are? Or those self-doubt voices that are, I think you call them mind monsters, correct?
I did. That's right.
Let's talk about what you share in this book.
The title of my chapter is This Is Who I Am. And I actually was inspired by an event that happened many years ago in my life when I was an aspiring reporter living in New York. I didn't have a degree at the time, but I had passion. And I was going to have the opportunity to interview Oprah Winfrey. But there were these voices in my head that were saying, who do you think you are? And Oprah has a quote that starts my chapter off. I was once afraid of people saying, who do you think you are? Now I have the courage to stand and say, this is who I am. And that is what resonated with me. It was an aha moment. And I built my chapter around that and overcoming those doubts and mind monsters to know that you are worth it. You know, you are a success and things like that.
Could definitely hear your passion in that, and I love it. And I get that you have overcome that for sure. So as we read your story, what are the key takeaways that you want a reader to have?
One of the key takeaways that I want our readers to have is just to know, to have that confidence in yourself, to know that those voices in your head, that you can retrain the brain, because the mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. And if you understand that, then you also know that what you say and believe, that impacts the belief of who you think you are. So if you can start treating yourself as you would like to be, just in case you have self-doubt, you end up better for it. And you can have positive affirmations, saying positive things, and also just surrounding yourself with the dream team, people who aren't afraid to let you rise and shine. They help you, they support you. Those are key things when you want to succeed, especially when you're building a business. There are so many naysayers at times that it'd be easy to give up because of past disappointments or discouragement. And so you have to have something within you to go ahead and make things happen and live your dreams.
You make it all sound very easy. And we know as business owners, or if we're starting that business, or those voices, those mind monsters that you talk about are really there and they stop us. I mean, how often do you see this happening with people? Because I know you work with people as well and to help them overcome this, but how often, like how big of a problem is this really?
I believe it's a big problem. It may not go away, but the thing about it is a lot of it is dealing with fear. I actually like to say, face everything and rise instead of fear being face everything and run. I believe that if you can think about it as fear, embracing your fear, in the book, I actually say, I don't know what the challenges are that you're going through, but in order to reach your dreams, I do know that if you have some setbacks, then what you have to do is you've got to grab your fear and grab your faith and make your faith bigger than your fear of failure. That's a key to success. I can't tell you how many times I have thought about quitting, but I didn't give up. And that was a key thing, because if you don't give up, you're going to make it. And if you have to move the dream a little bit or change your dream, it's okay as long as you keep going. So fear is a big part, but you have to almost face that fear. Facing the fear is very key to moving forward. It's all about mindset. As many of our authors, I loved reading all of the stories, but several stories also just like mine, that lack of self-confidence. And as a John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer, we often have clients who they want to succeed, they don't know how. And there are three things: that lack of discouragement, that lack of confidence. And if I can help get them through that and help replace some of that fear with success thoughts, they always seem to rise, and they're resilient. Most of us are resilient. We can bounce back. And especially in the last year, we've all had setbacks, but it's not so much the setback as how you're going to come back. That's the key.
Oh, I love that. It's not really about the setback, it's about how you come back.
Mhm.
So, excellent segue really into your business because you help people come
Yeah.
back.
Yes, I
So,
do.
tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, actually, I also want to say that during COVID, of course, a year ago, just about, right? A year ago, we all had to pivot. Many of us who had businesses that were face to face, well, we had to figure out how are we going to survive, and not just survive, but thrive. And I had to pivot, go online. I mean, I did so much Zoom. I didn't know whether I worked at home or I lived at work, but I actually was able to build my business through Zoom because it had already been online through Toastmasters. And so I was able to help some of my organizations, some of my clients. I became a certified trainer, virtual trainer. And I also found a new passion during Zoom, and that's helping young people. I actually have 3 classes now, 3 public and a private class of young people who are learning how to be better communicators. I never thought I'd be teaching the itty bitty 8-year-olds to 14-year-olds. Who knew? But I sometimes think they want to be better communicators than their parents. They don't have the same exact type of fear. So I've been blessed to be able to build the business and figure out another way, because sometimes you just have to rebuild your brand, or you have to think of new ways of using your gifts and your talents. And I'm still using the same gifts and talents, which is my joy of speaking, my voice. And then I help others, as you said, find their voice and use their voice and speak with confidence with their message to the audience that they're called to serve. And that gives me such joy, because I believe if I can help them, they can help others. And lots of leaders, I mean, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, as my mentor, John Maxwell, says. And therefore, if we can understand that while the hardest person to lead is ourselves, if we can lead ourselves and influence others, and if we use positive influence for ourselves and others, then we make this world a better place. And I think if we leave this world a little bit better than we found it, that's all good.
You have such a big, beautiful heart, Dr. Sunny. I'm so
Thank
grateful that
you.
you
Thank you.
shared your story, and but more, today you've shared your passion, your enthusiasm. You just
Yeah.
feel you right through the
Yeah,
screen
yeah.
here.
But I have to tell you, even to get this business, this public speaking business, this presentation, the mind monsters were there. Who do you
Mm.
think you are? You don't have the right skills and the right qualifications. And here I am, ready, close to retirement, but I'm still dreaming. I'm still dreaming big, and I didn't want to give up. And I felt like I was a little bit, how can I be this way? And I'm helping people every day become better versions of themselves. And I'm scared to take a leap of faith.
Mhm.
So I had to just buckle up and I had to really believe in myself. And it's always good when there are others who believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. That has been a great help to me in my life, my family and colleagues, my mentors. Having a mentor is so important. That's how I was able to build my business, and especially in times of COVID. And I took a leap of faith because another colleague, she really believed in me. She gave me the business, her business, and then she found others through word of mouth. And I built my business that way. And I am blessed. And also in my chapter, I talk about the person who mentored me. And it's because he mentored me that I mentor young people. He took a chance
Oh,
on me. Yeah.
awesome. Okay, Dr. Sunny, where can we get a copy of your book?
You can definitely get a copy of my book by going to sunnyfridge.com and click on books. You'll find a link to the book there. And you can also email me at drsunny@sunnyfridge.com. That's dr.sunny@sunnyfridge.com.
Dr. Sunny, again, you have just shared so much. I mean, so many golden nuggets.
Mhm.
You had so many. I wish I'd written some of them down. I'll have to listen back to this. There so many
Yeah.
great inspirational quotes.
Yeah. Well, you know
Um,
what? I do have a question for you. What has inspired you so much to do what you do for us, to keep
oh,
going and help us with our voices? What inspired you?
well, to what you said, when we find and own our voice and we share it, okay, that comes with when we own it, when we find it and we can share it, and it takes guts to
Mhm.
share our voice. Um, it's what changes the world. Period.
Amen. Amen.
So simple. And what we need to remember is, sometimes that world is, a million people. Sometimes that world is one person, and it's when we can touch that life that it has that trickle effect. So
So true, because I often say to the world, you may be one person,
yeah.
but to one person, you may be the world. And I think that also keeps me going because a lot of times I feel like, oh my goodness, there are so many great speakers. There are so many great coaches with what they could run circles around me, but someone made me really believe that somebody needs to hear my message. Someone needs to hear the message that only I can bring, the thoughts and the encouragement that are uniquely mine. I believe that. And that's what's helping me. And it keeps me going in this time of uncertainty and unprecedented time of change. I feel like I can keep going. And that's what I'm looking forward to. What does the future hold for me? As my mom says, the best is yet to come. She always says it, but I'm beginning to believe it more and more.
Well, your mom was a smart woman. Okay, Dr. Sunny, I want to thank you again for sharing your heart and for you owning your voice and sharing it with the world. So it's because of you and your positivity. I mean, you are touching people's lives.
Mhm.
Um, I want to thank our listeners who are coming in, and please get a copy of Dr. Sunny's book. Reach out to her, and also think about, as Dr. Sunny has mentioned, that this time has been difficult for many of us. And it's really challenged our self confidence in a lot of ways. So maybe when you're picking up a copy of the book for yourself, pick up 5, 6, maybe
Woo.
10 other copies, because I know that there's that many people in your life that could also receive this gift that would make a difference to them. And it's a beautiful, simple, easy gift to give somebody, just to let them know that you believe in them.
That's right.
and they're still there, and that they're not alone. So thank you again, Dr. Sunny Fridge. And just before we go, just because you've shared so much, we need leave us with some final words of wisdom that we can carry on with the rest of our day.
Well, it ties in with the fact that I host a show on Facebook and YouTube, and it's called Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. And when I decided to do the show, it's now in its 4th season, short seasons, but the 4th season starts this week, as a matter of fact. Someone told me, Lisa Nichols is famous for saying this, don't worry about your beginning. Don't base your beginning on someone else's middle, because you don't know what they went through. So I have learned that. I mean, there are so many people. Just when I'm coming out, I Googled presentation skills coach, over 93 million results. If I did not have faith in myself, I would just take my seat in the audience. But I know that if I do not base my beginning on someone's middle, or my middle on someone's end, I'm going to be better for it. And I encourage you, if you're watching or listening, to do the same.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great. Thank you for having me.
All right. So thank you again to our listeners for joining us. Get to know Dr. Sunny Fridge. She is a woman you do need to know, and to have that dose of positivity in your life.
Wow. That felt amazing to talk about my latest venture, to share my message with the audience I'm called to serve. Again, if you'd like to get a copy of my Voices book, go to my website, sunnyfridge.com, and click on the books tab. More to come in season 4. March is Women's History Month, and for the next 4 weeks, I'll interview some of the amazing, awesome co-authors of Voices of the 21st Century. Plus, I'll continue to interview speakers, authors, and Toastmasters who will share tips, tools, and techniques on becoming a better communicator. Mark your calendars. Each Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, a new edition of Rise and Shine will premiere on WYTV7 Facebook and YouTube. After each premiere, you'll also be able to listen anytime to each episode of Rise and Shine on your favorite podcast. Please like my Facebook page at facebook.com/I Rise and Shine. And if you're not on social media, you can find all my shows and podcasts online at wytv7.org/rise-shine. And if you'd like to get a jump start on improving your speaking skills, go to my website to sign up for my monthly free speaking workshop on Zoom. Together, we'll unleash your inner speaking superpowers, some you didn't know you had. Rise above your speaking anxiety, rise above your fear, rise to the challenge and opportunity to shine as an effective communicator. I'm Dr. Sunny. Remember, it's your time to rise and shine.